Previously on Pokemon Science and Magic. Oh, back to the regular intros, are we? Shut up! Anyway, after making it to Magpie City and doing a couple of challenging battles, we finally managed to fully evolve our starter Pokemon. While exploring the city, we were finally introduced to Odon, the father of Thor and Lowkey, and he made a very stern first impression. After telling off Thor, he decided to give Lowkey a second chance. Now we are accompanying him to the Strix Woods in order to find a lost Pokemon and to help Lowkey with his redemption. How is that gonna go? Well, you'll have to find out today. Now then, in order to get to the Strix Woods, we can go one of two ways. We can either backtrack to Osprey City and take Route 12, which is what we're going to be showing off today, or if you dig deep enough in the Magpie Mines, you'll be able to find a shorter route. Regardless, we'll just be going with Route 12 today, so yeah, here. Route 12 is a bit of a climb, but if you've managed to get this far, it should be nothing that you can't handle. To cut to the chase, the Pokemon that you can find on this route are Krytonium Baneri, Ferris Wheel, Renestone, Jumpider, Joggoat, Lickitung, Luxio, Diggersby, Carkol, and Carbink. Oh, and Poochyena. So yeah, nothing really new on this route, but I'm sure that will change once we get to the Strix Woods themselves. Speaking of which... Blimey, this place is giving me the creeps. Makes you wonder why anyone would come here, let alone lose their Pokemon in this place. As you can no doubt tell, these woods are big, foggy, and creepy, so be careful not to get lost. Also, make sure that no wild Pokemon come out of nowhere and jump scare you. But if you are interested in catching those Pokemon, then I don't see any reason not to look for them. One of the first new Pokemon you can encounter in this place is Hexinfect, the illness Pokemon. Nobody really knows why, but whoever would be unfortunate enough to touch this Pokemon would be bestowed upon a mysterious illness. Because of this, in days of old, this Pokemon was feared for its ability to spread disease, and was blamed for many people dying of sickness. If you're stupid enough to get on this Pokemon's bad side, then your illnesses will never be cured. Speaking of which though, this Pokemon has a new signature special ability called Black Plague, which has a 35% chance of inflicting either burn, paralysis, or poison on any new Pokemon that's sent out against it. Another new Pokemon that may surprise you is Grinner, the Nutcracker Pokemon. Nobody really knows where these guys came from, but they're some of the oldest Pokemon in this region. They're pretty mischievous runts too, playing tricks on local townsfolk and other Pokemon. However, if you want to pay this Pokemon out, be careful of its jaws. Those gnashes are easily capable of breaking solid steel. They don't call it the Nutcracker Pokemon for nothing. Lastly, we have Detectrix, the Warning Bird Pokemon. If he looks familiar to you, that's because he is the evolved form of Beaconing, evolving once it reaches level 27. Detectrix lives up to his name. He is always on the lookout, rather it be for prey or for danger, which it appears to look out for the most. It's a very protective Pokémon. It's capable of blasting its enemies with a super powerful high-pitched supersonic scream, which, thanks to its very flexible talons, it's capable of magnifying and accurately project. As always, these aren't the only Pokémon that may surprise you. Dig deep enough and you'll be able to find Beaconing, Hallusion, Marshweed, Woolert, Batamups, Ferris Wheel, Haunter, Phantump, Spinarak, Araquanid, Kawalma, Zorua, and Absol, as well as Cubone and Scyther. And I'm glad to say that Detectrix won't be the only evolution we'll get today. It looks like some more of our Pokémon are ready to evolve, so let's just check that out real quick, shall we? Having a little trouble feeling safe? Don't you worry, once your Valoraptor reaches level 35, it will evolve into Valorora, the Guardian Bird Pokémon. Said to be descendant from Guardian Angels, Valorora are the perfect protectors and the perfect fighters. Among Valerie and Valoraptor, they play a commanding role, wisely constructing and guiding their respective flocks. It can smash its opponents to oblivion with its super powerful wings. And it is said in old times, if you would see an aurora in the sky, it would be because a Valorora was flying by. Once your Hallusion reaches level 30, it will evolve into Hulrithik, the fake maiden Pokémon. These guys can be just as mischievous as their pre-evolutions. From a distance, they look like a beautiful maiden and use their charming appearance and illusion abilities to lure in unassuming men, just to chomp on them with the extra face on its back. Hallusion's evolutionary line doesn't end here. It does in fact have a second evolution which it can access, but that is a story for another day. Hope you've managed to save a Dreamstone up until this point, because if you have and give it to your Kawalma, it will be able to evolve into Psychowalla, the Dreamscape Pokémon. Just like its pre-evolution, Psychowalla is never seen awake. However, due to the psychic exposure of the Dreamstone, it can now project dream energy out from its mind and through its ears, similar to the stuff Musharna can produce. However, I would stay far away from that stuff if I were you. One quick breath can make you quite drowsy, and enough can knock you out cold. However, it's said that those who breathe in enough of it will gain special dreams of the future. I hope this Pokémon, as well as the others, will be fine additions to your team. This place gives me the creeps. Let's just find that Husk Scout and get out of here. The sooner we do, the better. What are you looking at? Honestly, I don't know why my father forced me to pair up with the likes of you. I mean, next to Thor, you're probably the last person I'd want to be paired up to. Why? Is that a trick question? You know very well the reason why. Every chance, every little chance that I've gotten to prove myself, rather it be with Thor, my father, no matter where we are, you have to butt in and ruin everything, don't you? I'm not mad at the fact that you've become more successful than me, even though we're both new guild members who started at the exact same time. What angers me is the fact that every chance that I've actually been given to prove myself, to prove my worth, you just have to squander it, don't you? I mean, I've had plenty of opportunities to show Thor that I am a more capable trainer than he realizes, but you just have to kick me down every time, don't you? All I wanted was to be a good Pokemon trainer, a good guild member, but you've gotten in the way and ruined my opportunities time and time again. What did I ever do to you? Ugh, honestly, you're just like Thor when he joined the Pokepals Guild for the first time. Ever since his first successful mission, it's just been non-stop bragging and conceit from him. He's like an Empoleon on replay. Although at least an Empoleon would actually get its work done. Oh. You're sorry. Well, at least you actually apologized. That's something Thor hasn't done to me in a long time. It just seems like ever since he joined that guild and met all those new people, he just didn't seem to care anymore. I mean, he'd still do his work as a guild member and everything, but something about Thor is that he always gets distracted by something else. Or someone else, in other cases. You know what? I think we've wasted enough time as it is. Let's just find that Husk out already, okay? What the heck? What on earth is this wreck doing out in the middle of nowhere? And I don't know what, but there's something so unsettling about it. You don't think that Husk Scout went in there, do you? Well, we've looked pretty much everywhere else, so we might as well check out what's in there. Just be on your guard, alright? Yeah, sure, thanks. Keep an eye on your Pokemon as well. After all, to a trainer, a Pokemon is his soul. So unless you fancy losing it, I'd recommend you watch it. Sheesh, Loki wasn't kidding, this place does look unsettling. And I'm sorry to say, you have to go inside there in order to progress with the story. But, before you do, I would recommend looking around the area, because you can find some more armor fragments to armor charge your Pokemon. So, before dealing with whatever spooky forces are in play in there, let's see what other Pokemon you can armor charge.
Supercharge!
To start things off, when exposed to the solar fragment, your Heliolisk will gain the power to armor charge. Thanks to its upgraded frill, Heliolisk is capable of absorbing even more sunlight, not only making it way faster than before, but making it way more powerful. It can now unleash massive electric blasts from its frill, and can even fire short bursts from its tail, just in case. Its new move, Supercharged Sunshock, lets it absorb a massive amount of solar energy into its frill before firing off a huge electric beam of energy at its opponents. This move will set up an electric terrain, and its power will be boosted if there is a sunny day.
Supercharge.
The next armor charger you can dig up is Marowak's form, which you can get when it is exposed to a bone fragment. In this state, Marowak becomes a ground psychic type. Nobody really knows why, but it's said that this form triggers a dormant spirit in Marowak's skull, granting it a psychological boost. This form also gives Marowak 2 new boomerang weapons, which it can telepathically throw at its opponents. They even have blades for extra cutting power, and throwing those blades it will do with its new move, Supercharged Fossil Sweeper. This move will also get rid of field effects like Stealth Rock and Toxic Spikes.
Supercharge.
When exposed to the tongue fragment, everyone's favourite Pokémon, Licky will be the next one to armor charge.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Oh come on, Licky is not that bad of a Pokémon. Yes he is! He's fat, stupid, disgusting! Oh, I'm sorry, would you rather I give an armor charge form to Lumineon? Who? Exactly. Anyway, back to Licky. In this form, Licky's tongue has been upgraded by this strange energy source. It can now expand and extend, acting as a large whip, and even an additional limb. The added spikes also give it some additional smashing power. The energy has also turned its tail into 2 additional arms to grapple the opponent with while its tongue batters them into submission. It does just that too, with its move, Supercharged Tongue Lashing. This move will also take away the opponent's held item. Licky will then eat said held item and gain back a little bit of its health.
Supercharge.
Looks like my pal Mimi is next to gain the armor charging treatment. Mimikyu will become this form when exposed to a disguise fragment. The mysterious energy still keeps its true form hidden, but enhances it to monstrous proportions. Not only does it have 4 arms now, but they have extra sharp claws, making them faster and more powerful than before. Their range is even boosted. allowing them to unleash better ranged attacks. By the looks of things, it appears that this form also allows them to spawn extra arms, just like these ones. And with its supercharged plaything, it will consume the opponent with a flurry of these arms, beating the opponent into submission with a wave of claw attacks. That's all the armor charges for now, but I think we've already wasted enough time as it is going through these fellas, haven't we? So, let's follow lowkey into that temple and see if we can find that Huskout. But wait! What about Pikachu? What about Pikachu? Well, if you can read the title, I think you're already aware of this being another temple. However, this one seems different from all the others. Structurally, it's a maze, just like the other two. However, as both you and lowkey progress through it, you can't help but feel an unsettling aura about it. Like, there's this feeling that you don't belong here, or shouldn't be here to begin with, and the puzzle of this maze would reflect that. Similar to the Lost Woods from A Link Between Worlds, it's a memory game. Every room that you go in will have one of multiple paths, and you have to remember to take the right one. If not, you'll be back to the start. Worser still, a random wild Pokémon will ambush you. And there's one you can find here who doesn't take kindly to visitors. This is Mirrorverse, the opposite Pokémon. Folklore states that these creatures were created by witches in order to wreak havoc across the land. Those who dare gaze into this Pokemon's body and see their reflection will have their soul stripped from their body, as they become a reversal of their former self. A pretty creepy Pokemon, but one I'm sure you can find some use out of. Other spooky spectres you can find here are Batamups, Mimikyu, Duskull, Misdreavus, Grinner, Wormis, Hexinfect, Haunter, Houndour, and Murkrow. So yeah, not the most comfortable temple to cruise through. But it looks like we're coming up to something now. Let's just hope it has what we're looking for. Ugh, all this way for a dead end? I don't get it, we've looked everywhere, where can that stupid Wait a minute. What the heck is that statue? Can't tell, it's too dark in here. I think I have a flashlight in here somewhere. Alright, let's see, still a little hard to make this thing out. A Pokemon? Yeah, obviously. But what about this text beneath it? Kinda hard to tell what that is. I mean, the only word I can make out is... that started. What do you mean, that started? What is that even supposed to mean? That started what? Ugh. I should have figured as much. This place looks decades old. Do you think it was built out here in the middle of nowhere for a reason? It has to be, and I doubt it's just for a stupid old statue like this. Hey, wait a minute. What the heck is that? Is that another one of those scroll things? Well, this is my kind of surprise. Looks like we'll be heading back to Magpie City with a bonus. Come on, let's grab it. I'm not as confident as getting this one as lowkey. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've gotten scrolls like this one before, but this one just seems a bit different from the others. It feels different as well. Almost like just staring at it is enough to send chills down your spine. I can't help but feel uneasy thinking about what's written on it. But if this is one of the scrolls that we need, we might as well take it. Hello? Are you actually gonna grab that thing or not? I mean, come on, haven't you gotten scrolls like this before? You see? Nothing to it. Although, I guess I can see why you were a little uneasy. There is something kind of unsettling about that scroll, and this whole place for a matter of fact. Although I can't help but be fascinated about it. Oh well, I'd love to get out of here right now, but I know we can't. We still have a job to do. That Huskout isn't gonna search for its... What? What was... Oh! Look out! A Spiritomb! Unbelievable, I've never even seen one of those before. I've heard their bodies are made of evil spirits that know nothing but destruction. And this one doesn't look too happy either. Uh-oh. I have a feeling I know where this is going.
Supercharged.
I'm sorry to say, Loki was right. This is Spiritomb's armor-charged form. It gains this power when it's exposed to a tomb fragment. The evil spirits that make up Spiritomb's body are now more vengeful than ever, and are just itching for a chance to tear any living thing in their sight to shreds. As such, its spirity body can now shapeshift, and gain access to the move Supercharged Baneful Vengeance, where its spirity body expands and swallows the opponent into a giant, ghostly hurricane. Looks like we have to stay to the party now. I hope your Pokémon are ready for a fight. Otherwise, we might be the piñatas. Let's take this thing down! Loki wasn't kidding about this encounter, because this fight is no picnic. Spiritomb has plenty of powerful attacks to stab you with, and its special ability Shadow Tag will prevent you from substituting. If that wasn't enough, this Pokémon isn't alone. It can also summon Batomups to do some additional damage, or Haunter to spread some curses and put your Pokémon to sleep. So yeah, this is definitely not easy. Luckily, you won't have to do this battle alone. Just this once, Loki and his Pokémon will be lending you some assistance. Hopefully, with your combined power, you should be able to take these spooky spectres down. Thank Arceus he's gone. All the same, I thought Spiritomb was supposed to be violent Pokémon. I mean, sure, it definitely didn't hold back against us, but it didn't seem like it was trying to rip us to shreds. It's more like he just wanted to get that scroll back. I mean, when that thing was fighting us, I couldn't help but notice that he wasn't entirely focused on us. I'm a Pokémon trainer. I'm supposed to know. Although I do suppose it is one of my many gifts. I mean, my starter Pokémon used to be quite stubborn when we first met. I just barely got it to listen to me in our first battle against you. But the more time I spent with him, the more I realized he wasn't stubborn just because. The reason for his stubbornness stemmed from his lack of trust in humans. Then, Professor Salix told me that it was originally owned by some other trainer who didn't treat it well. A Thoran trainer who discarded it for being too weak. And I couldn't help but sympathize with that. I'm glad that he's now finally managed to prove his worth. I just wonder if this will be able to prove mine. Hey? Oh! There you are. You must be that Huskout that we're looking for. Makes sense. I mean, you can't really find Huskout around here. Ugh, poor thing looks petrified. Must have gotten scared by all the ghost Pokémon and tried to find a place to hide. Well, don't worry, little fella, we'll get you back to your owner. We just need to get out of here now without being attacked by any more ghost Pokémon. Oh, that. Well, it's not like I was just gonna let you get skewered by that thing anyway. I mean, I still hold a bit of a grudge against you, but the last thing I want is for you to become a part of a Spiritomb. Speaking of which, let's bail before that thing comes back. Thank you so much, mister. I don't know what I would have done without my Huscout. I don't even know what happened, either. One minute we were just walking near the forest, and the next... Look, it's fine, really. Just make sure to take care of your Pokémon in future. To a trainer, a Pokémon is his soul. You don't want to end up losing your soul, do you? No. Then try to keep a closer eye on your Pokémon in future, and you'll be just fine. Okay then. I have to go now. See you. Thank you, mister, for all of your help. A Pokémon to a trainer is his soul. Now why does that sound familiar? Well, I guess I do learn from the best. Speaking of which, have you actually learned something from this experience, lowkey? Well... in some respects, I suppose I have. Ever since I went inside that temple, and after that encounter, it got me thinking about what Brandon said and what Thor said. I mean, that Slowpoke is a brain-dead idiot, but his heart is in the right place, I suppose. I mean, after spending a bit of time with Player here and reflecting on my starter Pokemon's own experiences, I think I understand now. What Thor meant by being a true guild member, he didn't mean just getting the job done or being the strongest guild member you can be. It's also about helping people, and Pokemon. When I was studying at that academy, they told me the root of Pokemon guilds. How they were originally built to bring order and hope to our region. They weren't a cage match to see who could become the most popular or the strongest. They were about giving others hope when they most needed it. And despite all the time I spent at that academy, I neglected to think that. That's not entirely your fault, though. Considering how others treated you at that academy, I'm not surprised that you became this distant and irritable. Although, I must know, how exactly did you come to this conclusion, and learn this lesson through your experiences? Well, to be honest, I think it was spending time with the player here that allowed me to come to it. After knocking me down and ruining every opportunity I had to prove myself, I would have expected him to act brash and spit in my face. That's normally how it went before being compared to Thor. But he didn't. Despite how many times I've acted brash towards him, and how many times he's knocked me down, it was never once out of spite. And back then, when I saved him from that Pokemon, he was actually quite grateful for it. I just thought he'd step on my foot like everyone else did, but he actually was quite thankful for me saving him. Then, after remembering what my starter Pokemon had been through, I guess all the pieces started to come together after that. Professor Salix was the only one who knew at the time what you had went through, lowkey. He knew that starter Pokemon would eventually get along with you, since you both understood how horrible people could be. He thought it would help you come out of your shell, and by the looks of things, he was right. Nevertheless, you have accomplished the task in hand, and as such, I will help try to restore your guild license. But this is the last time that I will help you. Oh, thank you, Father. And I'm sorry about all the trouble I've caused. I just wanted to be respected for once. Respect is something that needs to be earned, lowkey, and there are more ways to get it than power, as I'm sure you are now aware. Yes, Father, I am. So, if you don't mind me asking, what exactly are you going to do with that scroll that me and Player found? I'm going to take it back to the Double C's headquarters in the mountains. It'll be put into storage with the other scrolls that we have collected for safekeeping. We'll also be trying to find out more information about the location which you got it from. I see. Well, in which case it's a good thing that we grabbed it first, before Team Ragnarok got the chance to know about it. Now that I think about it, it is kinda strange that they didn't show up. Yes, and the fact that they've managed to show up everywhere we have. Interesting. In which case, player, I think you've dawdled long enough. The Double C will be waiting for you at the Forest of Rust. I'd recommend you not keep them waiting any longer. Indeed, you wouldn't want to pull a Thor on them now, would you? I'll be escorting lowkey here back to the Poképals Guild. Good luck, player. I think you'll need it, especially if Team Ragnarok gets involved again. Odin has a point. Let's just make sure things don't turn out that way when we go to get that scroll. Events which, unfortunately, are going to have to wait until next time, as our journey through Cryoto continues!